January 1st, 2017. Terrifying moment. Terrorist dressed as Santa stalks Istanbul nightclub where he killed 39 and wounded 69 before leaving his weapon behind, as funerals are held for victims just 13 hours after the atrocity. Trump says, "I know things that other people don't know about hacking." Gingrich says biggest worry about Trump administration is that they might lose their nerve. Trump advisors want Netanyahu to attend inauguration. Vandal changes famed Hollywood sign overnight to read Hollyweed. New York Times and Wall Street Journal editors take on Trump and the media. January 2nd, 2017. Obama plans farewell speech from Chicago. Here are the 8 Trump cabinet picks Democrats plan to target. Trump spokesman says there's still zero evidence Russia influenced presidential election with alleged hacking spree. Trump tells Schumer he likes him more than other GOP leaders. Biographer says Trump booted him from golf course. Black polls plan Trump resistance. Impeaching Trump. 1,565 refugees diagnosed with active TB since 2012, 3 times more than previously reported. French workers win legal right to avoid checking work email out of hours. January 3rd, 2017. New Republican-led Congress lays groundwork for Trump era. With no warning, House Republicans vote to hobble independent ethics office. House Republicans vote to rein in serious investigation of Republicans. Here are 6 things House Republicans want ethics investigators to stop doing. WikiLeaks founder says Obama admin trying to delegitimize Trump. The champions of the 401k lament the revolution they started. Thieves steal $6 million in jewels while ball drops on New Year's Eve. The 2018 midterms are nearly 2 years away. Start paying attention now. January 4th, 2017. Trump questions U.S. intelligence as governing challenges loom. Schumer says Trump really dumb for attacking intelligence agencies. Trump takes aim at House Republicans and they run for cover. In Republicans' ethics office, Gambit, a spectacle of tweets and retreats. Democrats to fight almost any Trump Supreme Court nominee, says Schumer. Liberals panic as Trump could flip left-leaning Ninth Circuit. Schumer adopts Trump's slogan, GOP wants to make America sick again. Trump's trade agenda takes the GOP back a century. NAACP stages sit-in at Jeff Sessions' office. January 5th, 2017. 4 held after Facebook video shows torture of disabled man by group railing against Trump and whites. FBI never examined hacked DNC servers itself. U.S. obtained evidence after election that Russia leaked emails. Trump attacks of U.S. intelligence on Russia unnerve lawmakers. Obama calls for seamless transition of U.S. military to Trump. President Obama awards himself Distinguished Public Service Medal. The GOP is quickly learning that governing is difficult, as is working with Donald Trump. The Democratic Party faces a daunting future. Trump to face sworn deposition in Trump Tower. January 6, 2017. U.S. intercepts capture senior Russian officials celebrating Trump win. Intel report says U.S. identifies go-betweens who gave emails to WikiLeaks. FBI says Democrats refused access to hacked email servers. Trump says focus on Russian hacking is a political witch hunt. Email headache returns. New Clinton messages show passwords and schedules flowed freely. President Obama talks race relations, calls alleged hate crime in Facebook video terrible. Arnold Schwarzenegger responds to Trump taunts. Vicente Fox blasts Trump over his racist monument. Union says Baltimore City Police in crisis due to officer shortage. January 7th, 2017. Dems try to voice objections as Congress certifies Trump's win. Putin ordered influence campaign to help Trump, U.S. intelligence report says. How Trump got his party to love Russia. U.S. Ethics Office struggled to gain access to Trump team emails show. Fort Lauderdale shooting suspect made confused visit to FBI, said U.S. intelligence forced him to watch ISIS videos. Iraq War veteran accused of killing 5 at Fort Lauderdale Airport. EPA, 540 tons of metals entered river in Colorado mine spill. German police quash Breitbart story of mob setting fire to Dortmund church. New York City needs Hillary Clinton to run for mayor. January 8th, 2017. President Obama says Obamacare will survive beyond his presidency. Trump's cabinet picks undergo grueling prep for hearings. Elizabeth Warren says no confirmation hearing until ethics concerns addressed. Democrats wage anti-Trump offensive for their own gain. What we know about the Fort Lauderdale airport shooting suspect. 4 soldiers dead in Jerusalem truck attack. As Donald Trump denies climate change, these kids die of it. January 9th, 2017. What Trump can accomplish on day 1. Top Trump aide deflects Russian hacking questions. Republicans would repeal Obamacare in precisely the way they accused Democrats of enacting it. America dropped 26,171 bombs in 2016. What a bloody end to Obama's reign. Donald Trump says he's not surprised by Meryl Streep's Golden Globe speech. Hillary Clinton made a rare appearance at the Color Purple and got 3 standing ovations. They can't be serious. PC students demand white philosophers, including Plato and Descartes, be dropped from university syllabus. A Jewish couple say they received a racist note after hanging a Black Lives Matter flag. Chinese state tabloid warns Trump, end one China policy and China will take revenge. January 10th, 2017. What Jeff Sessions' role in prosecuting the Klan reveals about his civil rights record. Inside Sessions' strategy to combat racism allegations. Sessions failed to disclose oil interests as required, ethics experts say. Senator Cory Booker and Rep. John Lewis to testify against Jeff Sessions for Attorney General. Breakaway Senate Republicans push to delay Obamacare repeal. Authorities say canceled New Year's trip to New York for Fort Lauderdale suspect. Margaritaville restaurant planned for New York City falls through. Sorry, Meryl, but that hypocritical anti-Trump rant was easily the worst performance of your career, apart from that time you gave Roman Polanski a standing ovation. January 11th, 2017. Intel chiefs presented Trump with claims of Russian efforts to compromise him. John McCain passes dossier alleging secret Trump-Russia contacts to FBI. Trump advisor Kellyanne Conway slams new Russia allegations as nonsense from the internet. It's fake news meant to malign Mr. Trump. Ukrainian efforts to sabotage Trump backfire. Chow says unleash private investors to boost transportation. Obama may get rejected from golf club over Israel policies. America will miss Barack Obama's decency. January 12, 2017. Intelligence chief's olive branch to Trump gets twisted in translation. Will you look after my cat? Ex-MI6 spy who worked with murdered Alexander Litvinenko flees his $1.5 million home, fearing for his life, leaving his pet with neighbors after being outed as the man behind the dirty dossier on Donald Trump. AT&T executives to meet with Trump to talk Time Warner deal. Trump Pentagon likely to abandon social experiments for core mission under Mattis, says experts. Mattis views on women in combat take center stage. Senate Republicans take the first big step towards repealing Obamacare. Nancy Pelosi's one Obamacare regret? Relying too much on other Democrats for messaging. Billionaire George Soros lost nearly $1 billion in weeks after Trump election. January 13th, 2017. Obama tells 60 Minutes shaping public opinion is part of the job. Obama's new policy list rhymes with bucket list. Jeb Bush says it's unlikely he will run for office again. Ryan confronted by cancer patient who says Obamacare saved his life. Republicans say their midnight vote was about bridge building. Actually, it was bridge burning. Chaffetz threatens to subpoena federal ethics watchdog over Trump criticism. Breitbart alumni launch populist nationalist group. UK PM says Trump dossier author has not worked for Britain for years. WhatsApp backdoor allows snooping and encrypted messages. January 14th, 2017. Toby Keith and Three Doors Down among acts announced for Trump inauguration concert. John Lewis says, I don't see Trump as a legitimate president. Trump says John Lewis is all talk, no action or results. Top Trump aide in frequent contact with Russia's ambassador. Trump advisor had 5 calls with Russian envoy on day of sanctions. First day of enhanced U.S.-Russia relations under Trump, an invite to Syria talks. Trump opened to shift on Russia sanctions and one China policy. Democrats confront FBI chief at closed-door intelligence briefing. Something happened in a classified Comey briefing that has Democrats fuming. January 15th, 2017. Judd Apatow freaking out over Donald Trump. Sanders says would not be a bad thing for the American people if FBI Director Comey steps down. Bikers for Trump ready to stand up to protesters. Trump transition team says it asked D.C. National Guard to stay. Trump aides deny summit with Putin planned. Trump team considers evicting press from White House. Opera star Andrea Bocelli backs out of singing at Trump's inauguration after receiving death threats. How Betsy DeVos used God and Amway to take over Michigan politics. It's time to face facts. Obama's presidency was a failure. January 16th, 2017. Trump team considers moving press corps, alarming reporters. Talk radio hosts and bloggers may be included in White House press briefings. Trump is making journalism great again. Trump vows insurance for everybody in Obamacare replacement plan. Trump calls NATO obsolete and dismisses EU in German interview. Trump's offer to Russia, an end to sanctions for nuclear arms cut. Outgoing CIA chief rips into Trump over tweets and Russia. More Democratic legislators plan on sitting out Trump's swearing in. Donald Trump expanding Scottish golf resort after vowing not to make new foreign deals. January 17th, 2017. In Brexit speech, Theresa May outlines a clean break for UK. Trump will take office as least popular president in at least 4 decades. Trump says approval polls are rigged against me. He is going to test our democracy as it has never been tested. Putin says doesn't believe Trump met prostitutes in Russia. Putin says Obama administration trying to undermine Trump's legitimacy. CIA Director John Brennan rejects Donald Trump's criticism. Istanbul Reina nightclub attack suspect captured. January 18th, 2017. Obama commutes bulk of Chelsea Manning's sentence. Days before Trump's inauguration, State Department sends $500 million to United Nations Climate Fund. George H.W. Bush hospitalized for shortness of breath. Trump on intel briefings. All solve the problems. One habit Trump says he will keep as president: tweeting. Companies are recycling their old news to avoid being blasted in a Trump tweet. Chuck Schumer says Tom Price may have broken the law in stock transaction. War on Betsy DeVos shows the left hates giving educational hope to poor kids. De Blasio says don't overstate the threat DeVos poses to city. January 19th, 2017. Obama says reports of voter fraud are fake news. Poll shows last-minute love for Obamacare. Rick Perry says I regret call to scrap Energy Department. Ivanka Trump says she will not be filling in as First Lady in Trump administration. Party at Pence's. LGBT activists host dance party outside VP-elect's Chevy Chase rental. Trump's threat to the liberal deep state. $1.9 billion error adds to California deficit projection. CNN says assassinating Trump could keep Obama administration in power. January 20th, 2017. Intercepted Russian communications part of inquiry into Trump associates. Trump sought military equipment for inauguration, granted 20-plane flyover. Anti-Trump protesters pepper-sprayed on eve of inauguration outside Deplorable in D.C. Trump's inaugural concert didn't fill the National Mall. Protesters make their mark on Trump's inauguration. Donald Trump didn't divide the country, but can heal and unify, senior advisor says. Obama's last transfer of Gitmo detainees. Trump inherits 41. In Trump we trust. Inauguration prompts celebration in Russia. An inaugural celebration that rings hollow. Ex-Bush speechwriter says Trump is worse than slaveholding presidents. January 21st, 2017. President Trump's inaugural parade attracted relatively few people. Churchill bust returns to Trump's gilded Oval Office. Trump issues executive order to start rolling back Obamacare. Trump starts on familiar note, with exaggeration. Merkel scours Trump archive for clues on how to read him. Trump's America is a rotten place. Andrew Cuomo to widen access to free abortion and contraception. Canadians traveling to Women's March denied U.S. entry after sharing their plans. January 22nd, 2017. Trump spokesman accuses media of false inaugural reporting. White House press secretary attacks media for accurately reporting inauguration crowds. Trump attacks Time Warner for mistake about MLK bust. Trump wages war against the media as demonstrators protest his presidency. UK PM May promises frank talk with Trump after women post. Trump changes course after denouncing protesters. Ex-CIA boss Brennan and others rip Trump's speech in front of memorial. Trump's real war isn't with the media, it's with facts. On day 2, Trump sticks to media bashing and boasting. January 23rd, 2017. TPP withdrawal Trump's first executive action Monday, sources say. Suspected U.S. drone strike kills 3 alleged al-Qaeda members in Yemen, a first for Trump. With executive order, Trump tosses a bomb into fragile health insurance markets. U.S. eyes Michael Flynn's links to Russia. Why BuzzFeed News published the dossier. China slams Western democracy as flawed. Madonna says White House comments taken out of context. The women's marches may have been the largest demonstration in U.S. history. Poll shows Elizabeth Warren is no sure bet for re-election next year. Could Caroline Kennedy be the baggage-free Hillary Clinton? January 24th, 2017. Trump assembles a shadow cabinet. Health Secretary nominee Tom Price proposed bill benefiting his Puerto Rico investments. Trump is said to keep James Comey as FBI director. Trump advancing Keystone and Dakota oil pipelines today, source says. EPA freezes grants, tells employees not to talk about it, sources say. Court appeal argues California emissions trading plan akin to illegal tax. How ultrasound became political. Sales of 1984 surge after Conway talks alternative facts. Dear media, the Trump White House has total contempt for you. Time to react accordingly. January 25th, 2017. Voters liked Trump's inaugural address. Trump to sign executive orders enabling construction of proposed border wall and targeting sanctuary cities. Boom! Dow hits 20,000 for the first time ever. Trump administration tells EPA to cut climate page from website. A national park deleted tweets on climate change after Trump silenced federal scientists. Water lead levels fall below federal limit in Flint. Democrats try to find a future post-Obama with fault lines along economics and race. Elizabeth Warren and Sherrod Brown will support Ben Carson's nomination to HUD. 4 more journalists get felony charges after covering inauguration unrest. January 26, 2017. Read leaked drafts of 4 White House executive orders on Muslim ban, end to Dreamer program, and more. Trump says, I will send in the feds if Chicago doesn't fix crime problem. Trump White House senior staff have private email accounts. Trump's absurd claim the 2012 Pew Report researcher was groveling. Donald Trump's doublethink, how to undermine your own election. In Trump era, Democrats and Republicans switch sides on states' rights. Compromise doesn't work with our political opponents. When will we learn? Shia LaBeouf is arrested live on camera during anti-Trump live stream after getting in a fight with a passing protester. Elon Musk may actually be serious about tunneling under LA. North Korean defector says Kim Jong-un can't last. January 27, 2017. Still slow. U.S. economy grew 1.6% in 2016. Trump will call for a Pentagon plan to hit ISIS harder, officials say. GOP congressional leaders say the border wall will cost between $12 to $15 billion. Questions swirl after Trump admin says tax will pay for wall. Trump's little Mexican war. The White House has finally said more about what its global anti-abortion rule means. Donald Trump campaign staffer who posted racist comments joins the administration. Need a proofreader? Team Trump spells British PM's name wrong. Trump won't attend Alfalfa Club dinner. January 28, 2017. Trump's first week, governing without a script. Trump signs order temporarily halting admissions of refugees, promises priority for Christians. 2 detained at New York airport, 7 in Cairo in wake of Trump's executive order. Google recalls staff of U.S. after Trump immigration order. U.S. lawyers for Iraqis sue to block Trump immigration order. Trump fails to mention Jews in Holocaust remembrance statement. D.C.'s March for Life to highlight gains by abortion opponents. McConnell all but rules out filibuster change. Russians charged with treason worked in office linked to election hacking. January 29, 2017. Trump gives controversial advisor Stephen Bannon seat at National Security Council meetings. Donald Trump's Muslim ban is cowardly and dangerous. Inside the confusion of the Trump executive order and travel ban. Trump visa ban also applies to citizens with dual nationality, State Department says. We talked to people who fought for ISIS. This is how they plan to use Trump. Donald Trump, the refugee ban, and the triumph of cruelty. A federal judge just issued a stay against Donald Trump's Muslim ban. Customs agents ignore judge, enforce Trump's travel ban, says ACLU. January 30th, 2017. It was a slaughter. Deadly terrorist attack at mosque leaves Quebec shaken. How Trump's rush to enact an immigration ban unleashed global chaos. This is not a Muslim ban. Trump defends his extreme vetting order as he says Obama created the list of 7 targeted countries and did the same thing to Iraqi refugees in 2011. White House discussing asking foreign visitors for social media info and cell phone contacts. Trump signs executive order requiring that every one new regulation, 2 must be revoked. Trump warns senators looking to start World War III. Why the Supreme Court fight is sure to go nuclear. A clarifying moment in American history. How the war on drugs has made drug traffickers more ruthless and efficient. January 31st, 2017. Trump fires acting attorney general who defied him. Jeff Sessions grilled Sally Yates on constitutional duty during 2015 hearing. The number of people affected by Trump's travel ban, about 90,000. Wall Street Journal editor. Stop calling the travel ban countries majority Muslim. California to consider enacting statewide sanctuary. White House says Trump will enforce LGBTQ workplace protections. SEAL and American girl die in first Trump-era U.S. military raid. Battle rages amid East Ukraine's bloodiest fighting in weeks. Priest tells anti-Trump protesters to commit suicide.